Across now to Jerusalem, bringing our correspondent from, in fact, ABC's correspondent, Jordana Miller on the line. Jordana, bring us up to date with the latest on the ground. I know that one of your team, Ian Panel, has been amongst the first journalists embedded with the military, a previous colleague of mine. Tell me what assessment you're getting from on the ground.
Well, we know that this is very intense urban warfare now. Their soldiers are in really the heart of the Gaza Strip. And despite the very strong words from the Israeli military about dozens of Hamas militants being killed and their tunnels being destroyed and a lot of arms being confiscated and destroyed, and the fact that now the Israeli army says Hamas is losing control or has lost control of parts of the northern Gaza Strip, this is really just the beginning of this war, and it is far from over. Hamas has an estimated 30,000 fighters. Their stronghold is Gaza City. They know the terrain much better than the Israelis. And I'm hearing, for example, from someone I know that came out of the fighting. He came home to see his family for a few hours, and I said, "How is it in there?" And he said, it's so difficult because some of the terrorists, Hamas fighters, are jumping out of tunnel shafts. They're firing anti-tank missiles, and then they're jumping back in and disappearing into this tunnel network. 130 is a strong number, but there are hundreds of tunnels that run through Gaza City and really across the entire Gaza Strip.
And also, I guess, one place that hasn't been, or it's difficult, it has been targeted in some ways, but the Al-Shifa hospital, where the military alleges that the command centre with its leader potentially is underneath. Now that, as you say, is at the start. Also making it difficult, the hostage situation, more than 140 hostages. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, saying it overnight that these reports of 12 hostages being released in exchange for a 3-day humanitarian pause or ceasefire, simply not true.
Right. Well, the Israeli Prime Minister's office is not commenting at all on this story, but the Israeli media is really running with it. They say that there is a second hope for a large batch of hostages to get released. The initial estimate was somewhere between 10 and 15, and Israeli media saying that number is just simply not high enough for the Israeli side. That is only about 5% of the hostages. Remember, there's 240 that are being held. Actually, that number went down to 239 yesterday because someone who was thought to be kidnapped, the remains of their body were found and identified. So still, it's a huge, huge number. There's 38 children among them, dozens of women, at least 9 elderly people, including a Holocaust survivor. These are non-combatants that should not be in the hands of a terror group. And Israel, it appears, really wants to get a huge chunk of them, if not all of them, out, if they were to agree to any kind of pause for a day or 2 days or 3 days. So it appears that the deal that we're hearing about for 10 or 15 is not going to be good enough for Israel.